Hello, good morning, warm welcome to your decoding of the ET Wealth newspaper. I'm Priyanka Bhatia from Women on Wealth, and we're going to talk about another interesting topic today, which is about investing mistakes, how to really admit them. So that's the topic of discussion today. And one of my favorite authors, Dhirendra Kumar, has written it. So that's the interesting article that I'm going to decode today. Please start typing if you're around so that we know we are around each other to learn and give. Hey Bhagya, good morning. Sheetal, Kanika, Kavneet. Awesome, good morning guys. Prerna, Rupal. Awesome, Priyanka, warm welcome. Prachi. Awesome. So today, the first article that I want to talk about right before the investing mistakes one is on the virus, the pandemic, and how the massive bills have actually destroyed a lot of people. So this is on page number 12 and 13 of the ET Wealth newspaper, and there are many stories. So actually there are, if I am not wrong, there are 4 stories or 3. Yeah, I think 3 stories of different people and what their bills are like. So one story, and there is this husband who spent about 86 lakh rupees on her wife's recovery. Another patient who has been hospitalized now for many months, so April, May, June, July, August, so about 5 months, and he spent 1 crore rupees. His family has sold his 3-bedroom apartment, and they've moved into a 1-bedroom apartment so that they can afford the stay at the hospital. In the third story, though she's lost her husband and she doesn't know that she's lost him to COVID, she and her family, her brothers and other people are mentioned in this article, and they have spent about 1 crore rupees on the hospital bill, and she's still in the hospital, which means the bill is going to further continue. So when I read this, actually my heart broke. Even when the pandemic was like at its peak, I was wondering to myself, what are the kind of stories which will come after this time? What all we'll have to see and really bear with. And actually, yeah, like I said, my heart literally broke on how people have borrowed this money from their friends and family, how so many of them were not ready with even a little bit of the emergency fund, and they had to sell their properties. So there is a lot of loan other than losing the jobs and the businesses that these guys have lost with the 5-6 months of hospitalization and all the bills that show up. And I want to point out right at the get-go one of the mistakes that I have often seen people mistake. Yeah, one of the money mistakes. And that money mistake is, oh, nothing will happen to me. This is happening to other people, but this won't happen to me. We just kind of assume that, and in that assumption we live our lives, and then we manage the money that we manage. Yeah, I get that, okay, foreseeing 1 crore rupee of hospital bill is not possible, right? Like, we can't keep so much money as cash unless you are really a high net worth individual. So but we can definitely keep some amount of money in hand. And in our community also, I see women asking me and asking themselves that okay, should I just invest the emergency fund because it's not coming to any use? I don't think I'm hitting any kind of emergency. I'm doing pretty much fine. I am healthy. I'm not going to lose my job. Everybody in the house is doing well, etc. It's a big mistake to make. Start typing, guys. What are you getting? Sheetal is saying, this is just so unbelievable. It is hard for me to wrap my head around this reality that crores are being spent on hospital bills. Yes, Sheetal. When I read it, actually, a part of me really cried for what's happening in the world. Yeah. And, Sheetal is pointing out, this is a money mistake that we make. This won't happen to me. I would never have to get to this, Yeah, we all just believe that, okay, I'm managing my health so well, oh, I eat right, oh, I do this, I will not be hit by anything. Well, you never know who is hit by what. Swati is saying she can relate to this. Pooja, such a scary situation to even think about, let alone experience it. Yes. May God give all the strength and hope to all these families. Absolutely. And what are the lessons that we can draw? One of my mentors used to say, you don't need to always make all the mistakes and then learn. You can learn from other people's mistakes as well. So what are those your own mistakes that you would like to learn from? And what are those mistakes that you're noticing people make that you can truly avoid? So start typing about them. Yes, emergency fund can fall short in that case. Absolutely, Rupal. But at the same time, Rupal, in these stories, what I saw was that these guys had bought their own property. So all the money was just stuck in that immovable asset, illiquid asset. And then in two of the stories, it's written how distress sale has been done. So they've actually sold their properties in a hurry, in distress, and because of that, they're not receiving the full price of it. So there is also a lesson, in these stories around asset allocation, fund allocation. Because nobody, like I said earlier, nobody will keep 1 crore rupees ready. But where are the funds parked? Right? That is also critical. Swati saying this was exactly my situation. Got that, Swati? Could you share more on that? Like, what was your situation? Where were you and what are the mistakes that have shown up from there? Emergencies do not pre-warn you. They just happen, and these 3 stories are just tip of the iceberg. There are many people who lived without being prepared. Absolutely, Amrita. And what are the lessons for us? That's the key. Emergency funds are never investments. Got that, Rohini? Bhagya, it scares you to think that you're still building your emergency fund. Yes. And then Bhagya, it brings in that emergency on building this fund with velocity. To not lax at it, to not, become complacent in the process. I have seen investors make these mistakes too, where they just become complacent. They've learned, they've become educated investors, and then they stop living this lifestyle. They believe they know it all. And that's not how you need to be doing it. And well, from the know-it-alls, it brings me to this Dhirendra Kumar's article in ET Wealth, where he's saying how Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, both of them great friends and partners in Berkshire, they are saying how ongoingly they have committed mistakes, and the big part is that they have acknowledged the mistakes. so that they could actually move forward and create a different future. So committing mistakes is one thing, and then being able to acknowledge those mistakes is another. Like after I was reading all these articles, and I was also preparing for our talk yesterday I was actually writing down what are those so many money mistakes of my own that I can see. And well, I have admitted and committed many of them, and some of them that I've written here as notes are like selling a couple of profitable businesses too soon was a clear mistake that I can now see I made. Like I could give more time to my investments, and I just sold them off because of course I made huge profits. I was making huge profits, and because of those huge profits I sold those businesses, and I know that I shouldn't have sold them. So that was a lesson learned pretty hard. Another mistake that I saw was, a point came where I literally cluttered my portfolio. There were if in our community we talk about 10 companies buying 10 businesses, then I bought some 30 of them. And this was a mistake that I made early on, and then yes, I paid the price of decluttering, right? I paid the price of decluttering. I made money. That's not the point. The point around cluttering portfolios, not that I didn't make money. I did make money even in that cluttered portfolio. But the money that could be made with a concentrated portfolio, that wasn't done where I was, right? So a lot of things that I've been saying to you guys come from the mistakes that I have personally made in my own portfolio. What happens is when we, make these mistakes is the cost that we pay is in terms of time, really. That's the cost that we are paying, the time. Then, not investing as much. Like I was somebody who used to hold a lot of cash, because yes, there were also certain responsibilities that I had with my parents and otherwise, but I didn't need to still hold so much cash. So there are also mistakes that I've personally done as far as fund allocation is concerned, as far as asset allocation is concerned. So that's another. And then investing in a property too soon in my life. Like I bought a property when I was just, I think 25, 26 year old. Yeah, I think 26 maybe. So bought a property way too soon, and there also I did that without really managing the asset allocation part, right? Which we teach in the net worth sheet. So I think these are all very, very critical lessons that at least I have received from my own mistakes. And yeah, one of the biggest mistakes which I paid for through my nose in 2008 was when I bought investments on hearsay. I just bought anything, everything, and then I sold anything on hearsay. And that wasn't a great way of investing, and that was definitely not aligned to my goal of wealth creation. So sitting down yesterday and brainstorming and reading with my own self, I kind of quite opened up about my own things in life. Okay, I'm reading the comments now. Let's see. Liza, you love my honesty? Well, yeah, otherwise, what's the point of being together in a community, right? I am no different than all of us. One of the other investing mistakes you would say is investing life's precious commodity time and simply waiting for fear of investing to disappear. Yeah. And then another mistake is just looking for investing in good assets but not building yourself as one. Oh, yes. I love that. Yeah. I think thank goodness I saved myself from making this mistake. I kept on investing in myself. Yeah. The third mistake I've made myself is staying so ignorant. Like, what the hell was I thinking, not doing anything? Got it. Got that, Sheetal. So Sheetal has started acknowledging her mistakes. Guys, start typing. What are the mistakes you see in your investing journey, financial journey, that you would like to acknowledge and maybe others could learn something from you today? Pooja, you haven't been taking this seriously? It makes you understand the importance of the 4 pillars of financial security in the Money Gym program, Hira? Yeah, good point is to not become complacent. Absolutely, Kanika. Swati, you didn't keep an emergency fund. You invested in a property which depreciated in value and you are still paying the EMI. Yes. Absolutely. For some of the people, investing in an under construction property became a huge mistake. Yeah, huge price paid. Not having too many illiquid assets. Okay, sorry. I think not having too many liquid assets, yeah. Considering real estate as the best form of investment is a mistake, absolutely. Not forgetting health insurance. Sheetal is remembering how I said that 90% of my portfolio is liquid. Well, yeah, that's me. That's me now. But, and who knows what mistakes I'm making even now. It's only in hindsight that, you can see that, okay, that was a mistake or this was a mistake. When you're actually making it, you just don't know. Prerna, what you're learning is that emergency can happen to anyone at any time. Absolutely. Not being financially aware is a mistake. Going too slow is a mistake. Not saving, thinking money managing is not my responsibility is a mistake. Lot of liquid cash is a mistake. Being ignorant is a mistake. My husband has planned it well, saying that is a mistake. Not considering inflation is a mistake. Not taking money management seriously is a mistake. Not bothering educating yourself on money management is a mistake. Pooja, you tell me the answer to this question. You've done the Money Gym program. How can we keep 90% of the investments liquid? Tell me. Okay guys, any other mistakes you would like to point out that you've made personally in your money life? And you experience that this is a safe space in which you could acknowledge it? Not thinking about your retirement fund? Okay, Diksha, saving but not knowing about investments is a mistake. Being dependent on others for financial decisions is a mistake. Yes, absolutely. Waiting too long to invest is a mistake. Yeah, letting all that time go is a big mistake. Beautiful. So I'm reading some of the lines from the article now. Nidhi is saying she understood the intensity of the brainwash very late, resulted in an investment loss. Getting carried away by the agents and brokers. Too much money invested in property is a mistake. Never realize that the pace at which we are investing won't be enough to build the retirement corpus. Every day is crucial. Got that, Neha, Sangeeta? Investing and forgetting about it is a mistake. Not tracking periodically, realizing after 3 years that the fund has not performed is an investing mistake. Yes, got it. So basically, if you see, time is a big valuable commodity that we are losing in the process. Going by the financial decisions made by your parents, grandparents is a mistake. Yeah, Kanika is saying I so relate to it. Just yesterday I was doing this live with Priyanka Parthi. She is our student and Women on Wealth community member. And she pointed something so well, Anjali, here. She said that, her parents who were both working, right? Otherwise, in our generation, most of our mothers were not working, but her mother was. And she was pointing out how her mother had done fixed deposits and the rate of interest was 14% then. And right now it is maximum of 4 to 6% depending on the time horizon of your fixed deposit. So yeah, the investments they did were fantastic. Like for my dad, I can clearly say he bought so many national savings certificates, and every 3 years, okay, I repeat it, every 3 years his money was doubling. So, the investments that these guys did in traditional investments were great because they did generate good returns, but no more now. That's how it is. Okay. Investing entirely in stocks. Sure, Pooja, you can go for that. Not educated about finances and starting late. Pratusha, trading in the stock market without proper knowledge was my biggest mistake. Got that. Yeah, I think that was a big one. I have seen so many people make this mistake. And the beauty about our community is we can all come together and acknowledge our mistakes and go beyond them, because that's the key. We can't be stuck and be guilty and in shame of doing what we did. I think we all need to now kind of acknowledge and then move ahead, like pave our way forward. Look at the new actions that we need to be taking. So one of the couple of lines actually I'm reading from this article on mistakes, investing mistakes. And like I said earlier, Dhirendra Kumar is mentioning how Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett have made these mistakes, and they have publicly acknowledged these mistakes. So they used to think that they don't understand tech, so they shouldn't be investing in tech. That's one of the things. And Dhirendra Kumar is saying that Google caught their eye in the year 2004, and tech has transformed into this dominant consumer sector, and they realized, okay, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger realized that they should have paid attention to this IT sector, but better late than never. They did then later enter. So there are examples around Google, Apple. Okay. Buffett and Munger did not do that. Not only did they admit their mistake by themselves, but they also fixed it by buying into Apple in a big way. So now, let's move into, okay, how do we fix the mistakes that we've made? What can we be doing? What's more, they openly admitted to the mistake to the world in their annual shareholders meeting, and they took questions about it. So they acknowledged the mistakes, took responsibility of it, also took responsibility of the impact it will have on the Berkshire investors, and then they said, okay, now what? So they are actually life lessons rather than just investing lessons. If you see all these mistakes and the lessons, everyone makes mistakes, and most of us find it difficult to admit that we were wrong. And it's cool to acknowledge that we were wrong, because anyways we are going to be wrong. We can't be right all the time, though habitually as human beings we all want to be right at all times, but that's not really possible. So guys, start typing. How can we now fix these mistakes? What are the actions we can now take? Even if we can't fix the mistakes that we've already made, what are the actions now that we can take? What is the way forward for all of us? What are the actions showing up? Okay, Preeti is saying the live is really choppy for her, probably because of her internet connection. Sure, Preeti, because I think others can hear me clearly, because I have had a lot of comments here. So yeah, I think so, Preeti. Sure. Guys, start typing. What's the way forward? What can you see now? Does your emergency fund need to expand? Do your investments need to be more aligned to your goals? So start typing. Swati, you will first work on the 5 pillars of financial security that you've learned in the Money Gym program. Brilliant. Proud of you. Rupal, taking financial management as a priority. Got that? Yes. Which means, Rupal, you will put in time every day. No questions asked. Like I always say, Money Gym is not a program. It is a lifestyle to live by. Actions for you, Sheetal, are interact with your community more often. Keep financial upskilling alive in your life. Sure. Yes. You know, a lot of us, I'm just generally saying, a lot of us just keep getting lost in all this earning money and then social media scrolling and managing the family and children. But yeah, there is more to life than that. Neha, keep a check on the investments periodically. You now need to invest in stocks. Brilliant. Neha, have you done the stocks course? If you've not done the stocks course with us yet, don't jump in. Kanika, you need to update your wall chart, which is a Women on Wealth Money Gym structure, guys. Swati, you're working on your investment. Yadu is saying systematic investments, educated decisions, looking at financial goals as a big picture. Awesome. Nidhi, keep reading and talking to my community. Yes. Ashima, the course correction plan is getting educated and reassessing your finances. Brilliant. Awesome, guys. So to each their own. So figure more, what more you could be doing. Some of the things that I am really taking on for myself are reading about finances every day. I anyways read about finances every day. There is 1 hour that I have chalked out in my life on an everyday basis where I read about finances and I just, kind of engage with my own self around it. For me, just reading never helps me. Being able to think through while I am reading is something that has made significant difference to my own money life. So that is one thing that I'm continuing to be on. That is one thing that I'm going to continue on. Another one is to, kind of probably invest more. That is another action that is clearly showing up for me inside of my investment journey. Bhagya, you need to learn more and more. Lost focus in between family and work. Jump back right in, Bhagya. Your community has its doors open for you all the time. Hira, strengthening finance as a system in your money life. Building financial conscious mindset. Discussing with your fellow community members to support them. Okay, Ashima is saying the live is choppy for you too. Okay. Sangeeta, en route to decluttering in mutual funds. Will invest in stocks now. The more I deep dive, I find I am still on the tip of the iceberg. Sangeeta, I am there too. I think I am still on the tip of the iceberg too. This subject is way too deep for anybody to get into, but yeah, can I practically use the information and apply it in my life? That is what I keenly look for. Because you all know I am not somebody who's an information junkie. Whatever I know, I put it into practice. Else I just put it in the bucket that I don't need that information. Sure, I'm right here to encourage you, Bhagya, and each and every woman here. Guys, we are having a special introduction to our Money Gym course on Sunday, 11 a.m. And I would request all of you to invite your friends and family members for this introduction. Why? Because what's happening in this community and the practical course that exists here, such a comprehensive course that exists here, I know doesn't exist anywhere in India. So my request, can all of you take on, all of my money gymmers, can you all take on reaching out to that one friend and bringing her in for this Sunday's free introduction? And if you are somebody who's listening, who's not done any of our courses yet, then it is time to just come in, check out our space, which is the free introduction on Sunday. So reach out, DM, if you've not attended this introduction, or if you have, then reach out to join the course. On this note, guys, I am closing this live. Thank you so much for showing up. And before I close it, can I invite some of you to share this video with people in your life? One last request. Okay, Nidhi is saying your course is so practical and definitely a life changer. Yes, Nidhi. You know, so many women come in and ask us, hey, you know, why are you not running a low cost course? There are so many places which run such low cost courses. And then I tell them, go try out their course, because it is going to be so theoretical that you're going to stand at the same place where you stand today. Maybe you'll become more of an information junkie, but that's about it. Doesn't help much. Yeah, no free lunches. Bhagya, Yadu, thank you for sharing this video. I am glad that you are standing with us in the mission. Anybody else sharing the video, making the mission move forward, helping more women become financially educated? I am waiting for you. Thank you, Sheetal. What about others? Sangeeta, Nidhi, Ashima, Swati, Kanika, Neha. I want everybody jumping in. Rupal, Preeti. Got that, Rupal. Thank you for sharing. On this note, I'm closing this live. Thank you so much for participating and really making sure that you grow in your money life each passing day. Okay, Ashima, Hira, thank you so much for sharing. Loads of love, everyone. Take charge, stay safe. Bye-bye. And I see you again in the Investment Mastery series live right here on Facebook. Thank you, Swati. Take care. Loads of love. Bye-bye.